Hey guys, today we are going over the all-new character echo portraits in Borderlands 3 that have been found so far, which is a little over 20 at the time of recording. Now, most of these were put together by Cole's gaming blog over on Tumblr. I'll link that page down below. Make sure to go show some support for this awesome find. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Hayder, and let's get right into it. Now, echo portraits are such a small detail that most people don't really notice, but already looking at the ones we have so far, we can see how much detail and attention Gearbox has given these. Now, there are slight spoilers in these echo portraits if you are trying to avoid all the characters, so click away if you don't want anything potentially spoiled for you. So let's start with Claptrap. In the portrait we have gotten so far in all the gameplay, he looks normal, maybe slightly beat up, but doesn't look too bad. But when we compare this to the HUD screenshot found when the Twitch extension first launched, we can see it's a slightly different design Claptrap, and now it looks like he has been shot at some point in the story, which is interesting in its own right, why Claptrap would get shot or who shoots him. But I think it leads to a bigger point that the echo portraits will change for characters as we progress through the story, and will be more dynamic than they've been in past games, and I think that this is just one example. Next, let's look at Tanis. If we look at her Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2 designs, not much had changed between the two games, but when we look at her Borderlands 3 designs, obviously she has changed due to just all characters getting updated looks. But we actually can see that they captured two different Tanis echo portraits, which gets back to the Claptrap point that characters could have multiple different echo portraits depending on their mood and what they're saying. Once again, just making it more real and that it's just not a stagnant picture that's unchanging. And we don't know if this will be true, but from what we can gather so far, it looks like it's almost confirmed at this point. Next, let's talk about Lilith. Looking back at Borderlands 2, we can see her siren tattoos go all the way up to her neck and down her arm. When compared to Borderlands 3, we can see the portrait is after Lilith loses her powers, and again looks like it could be one of the many faces we see for her portrait. Moving on to some others, we also get a look at Lorelei, who is a new character that works for Atlas. Also, if you think she looks a lot like Lilith, especially in this portrait, you're not wrong, and I'm going to shamelessly plug my video going over the original Lilith design, so if you guys haven't watched that yet, make sure to go and check it out. We also get Ellie's portrait, who has her welding mask on her head. We get Vaughn, who has even changed from his Borderlands 2 Commander Lilith portrait. Now he has lost his glasses and the goggles on his head, just overall looks rougher, his hair is completely flat at this point, just subtle changes. We also get a look at the first boss of the game, Shiv, who wears a red vault mask, and it almost looks like his picture is a selfie with his little psycho arm sticking up in the frame and just holding up a few fingers. We also get Ice-T's character, Baylex, and the other AI, Genevieve, along with the first Vault Hunter, Typhon DeLeon, who we will be searching for his shrines across all planets, which leads to Typhon's hidden treasure. Now we also get a look at Montgomery Jacobs, who's the father of Wainwright Jacobs, but we don't see a portrait for him. It's possible we don't see his face because this was just an echo recording and not him actually telling us live. The way you can tell if it's a recording or not is based on the little symbol in the corner. If the symbol is up in the bottom left corner, then it's a recording, while if nothing's there, then it's live. There could be other explanations because we have seen other characters with this symbol, but we see their face, so I'm not sure why we don't see his, or if they're just trying to keep it a surprise. If we keep going, we get a look at Moxxi, who has changed a ton from her Borderlands 2 look, along with Aurelia, who is returning from the pre-sequel and is the sister to Sir Hammerlock. She also has a redesign in this game as well. Next is another one of the first bosses on Pandora, and that is Mouthpiece. He's the one who's running the Holy Broadcast Center and is spreading the Children of the Vault propaganda. Then, speaking of Children of the Vault, we get a look at the Calypso twins themselves. First is Tyreen, who to me looks a lot different than her character actually looks. I'm not sure, as I said, if it's just me, but for some reason her and Troy just look very different from their actual character models. Speaking of Troy, we also get his portrait. Now, I can pinpoint why Troy looks weird. It's because it doesn't include his siren tattoos. I'm not sure why they don't. There probably is a reason. It's just a weird little detail. I'm not sure if we learn that people can choose their echo portraits or how that works. So the Children of the Vault have different ones than everyone else, like more photoshopped, photo-tuned versions. Next is Zero, which also has a slightly updated look, and we get a better look at his back, which has his sheath for his sword, which looks really, really good. And we can even see part of the Zero logo on his shoulder pad. Then we get Katagawa Jr., who I believe is the CEO for Malawan. I'm not 100% sure of the lore around him. I've been trying to distance myself so I don't ruin everything for the game, but he definitely works for Malawan, and we will be hearing a lot of him on Promethea. And that just leaves the last two that I could find. One is Amara. She should look off to everyone as well. She is also missing her tattoos. Not only on her neck and arms, but her tattoos also leave those two little dots below her eye, and the portrait doesn't include any of that. I'm not sure if it's just because of detail, it'd be too hard to show that, or if, as I said, there's another reason. And the last portrait we have is Flak. They look really good, and probably one of the sharpest portraits we have seen so far. Obviously, this is not all of the character portraits in game. We are still missing a ton. Just to name a few, we don't have Zane, Maya, Mose, Ava, Brick, Tina, Mordecai, Talon, and so on. But the ones we do have are a lot of fun to look at, and I love what the team has done with them this time around. That's where I'm going to end this video though. Make sure to like and share, subscribe for daily Borderlands news, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Perfect. Once we complete our mission, Lilith has to promote me to Super General.